don't know if anybody knows it, but that's my absolute favorite. And then TMNT, of course, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, that's TMNT is a classic.
And come again?
TMNT is a classic.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And it's again, they're all. There's a lot of really ugly mutated creatures which I love. They're all goopy and droopy and the eyes falling out just the way I like it. As you may have noticed in Mutant Morphans.
Yeah, Krang.
Yeah, Krang as well. Oh, that's a secret. But yeah, I love Krang. It's so ugly and it's mean. And then next time when I make a short video of studio, I'll show them my biggest toy prize, and that's Tendril from the Invincibles. No, the shoot. That's what happens when you have to know something. I just don't. Anyway, come to me in a minute.
For another question, this was asked in chat earlier. Going back to the Morphans, if you over-evolve the Morphin and you are left with a puddle of goo, or you end up with some goo, is that the end-all, be-all for the Morphin? So I think they're wondering, what happens to that NFT or the image, if you do over-evolve? Is that something we can reveal now, or is that a secret we gotta...
I don't want to really explain what you're gonna see, but I just want to say that whichever way it ends, it's still worth it. So it's not like your NFT is gone. You still have your NFT. It'll look slightly different, and there will be some extra traits or rarities when that happens. So everybody wins, I guess.
Awesome. I think that's what that question was getting at. Is the NFT gone, or what does it look like? But it's just a little bit different. You have some extra traits and interesting special traits being over-evolved. That's cool.
Yeah, and those ones that end up over-evolved either into a dead state, which is like the goo state we're talking about, or even potentially an escape state, those themselves actually become very rare. And so you still have your NFT, but now you have one of the more rare ones, and that's a way of rewarding people who explore the different corners of the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's actually a good thing if the experiment fails, but on the other hand, you'll lose the way your character looks, so your Morphin. So if you really want to stick to your cool-looking Morphin, maybe you shouldn't. But on the other hand, if it fails, it's I like it. They turn into pretty cool, different state as well. So, and they're pretty rare, and it's a rarity that we didn't mention on the website or on the rarities table. So yeah, they're kind of like hidden rarities.
Awesome. I like it. One question that I'll throw at you that was from me, as an artist, can you tell us a little bit about the gear or the equipment you've been using to craft the Morphans, and maybe a little bit about your workflow that goes involved in designing all these creatures?
Yeah, sure. It's pretty simple and straightforward. I work in Adobe Illustrator. I do everything. I do make some sketches on my iPad in Procreate, but usually I dive straight into Adobe Illustrator. I love vector work, vector drawing. I've been doing it for 30 years, and I just love it so much. And it's for me, it's the perfect tool. And I work on a big Cintiq, like the big Wacom screen I can draw on, which is way better for the ergonomics. But yeah, that's it. So give me Adobe Illustrator and I can draw. That's that's it. And then building all these stages and all the different evolving stages, and it's it was a load of work. Still is, by the way, but it's awesome as well. It's a lot of thinking ahead and then going back and then changing things here and there, and keep in mind that they should grow. So there's loads and loads and loads of layers and artboards in Adobe Illustrator that I work on.
You know what would be interesting, Laurence, is if you counted how many different layers and traits you've created for the full evolutionary set. I can only imagine it's like it's got to be in the thousands. I mean, just knowing how many, knowing the collection myself.
We can do the math right here because we have 5 stages from egg to big mutant. And all the files have around 190 artboards, so that's 5 times 190, and that's excluding some of the rarities.
So 950?
Yeah, at least. At least.
Oh, Orko, James, we have somebody in the who's looking to ask a question, I believe.
Raise a hand. I see that. All right, let me try and bring them up. Ants-Man, welcome to the stage.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Welcome, Ants-Man.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, you're great.
Cool, man. Well, listen, I just want to say hello to the whole team. I've been here for a bit, just not really active on page because I've been dealing with a few things on my side in life lately. I just want to say I really like the artwork. It's very original and unique in my opinion. And I'm looking really forward to seeing how far this project's going to go because I see a lot of potential in it. I just have a few questions for you guys.
Awesome.
And my first one is, are you guys happy with how Mint Phase 1 went? And if not, why?
What phase 1 are you referring to? Or are you talking about a different drop?
No, I'm talking because you guys had your first mint, if I'm not mistaken, right?
We've had 2 so far. Yeah.
Oh, you've had 2 so far. Okay. Are
Yep.
we still on the second one, or the second one has officially ended?
So the second one had a sale, and it hasn't sold out completely.
Okay.
It's been revealed a couple days ago. That's the Babylon Misfits NFT collection. They're reggae NFTs.
Right.
So they're still selling. The reveal actually kicked off the sales a little bit more because people wanted to see the art. So it's been going well so far. Not as fast as we wanted, but we understand that the NFT market's hit a little bit of a bear market in the last month or so, right? So that's just the reality of the industry currently. But it's gotten a lot of attention. He's got a lot of Scooja's got a lot of fans, and there's a lot of people that really love his art. So it's not for everyone. Some people don't like the reggae or the weed centric thing. So it's definitely for a certain audience, but it's definitely gone very well.
100%, and I agree with that. Definitely for a certain audience, but I definitely think the artwork will definitely attract more than just that certain kind of audience, regardless of the dreadlocks or not, just because the artwork is so well done.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Another thing I just want to clarify, you were talking about the NFTs before, and some having depending on their rarity score, they have different traits and whatnot, or different benefits, I should say.
Yeah, well, there's definitely different levels of rarity for all the drops that we have. So, some NFTs are more rare than others. If you look at the Mutant-Bio Morphans.com page, you'll see that there's different stages and different levels of
rarity or types of evolution. So it's a little bit different on this drop because it's not just the original rarity, but it's
it's also the rarity that comes with the evolution process.
Right.
So it's definitely a different type of drop versus the first two drops that we've done, which had already the original rarity and that was it. So which is still great and has their own great benefits, and like we said, they're utility tokens as well, because you're already getting a whitelist spot on the next drop. So basically,
100%.
and obviously many other things. That each project has its own roadmap.
Cool. And
let me add that if your fifth anyway, one of the rare failed states of your Morphans, so if the evolving failed, there's one state that also gives you new perks that we haven't discussed and that we're not going to reveal until then, I guess. So yeah.
Okay, and when will reveal be released for these perks? After mint, I assume?
Are you talking about the
plan
perks or the
is-
art, or like the reveal of the art?
I'm talking about the perks, because he was just mentioning about perks that he's not going to reveal yet. So I'm just wondering when that info will come out.
I think we'll probably have that info public by the mint start. I think we need to work a little bit more closely with Laurence to get the specifics of that nailed down. But yeah, definitely getting that stuff available for users prior to the minting is something that we want to be able to provide.
Okay, awesome, guys. Thank you for the info. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks for coming
Thank
up,
you.
Ants Man.
Yeah, man, no problem. And I have one minted already, and definitely plan on minting more. And looking really forward to seeing where this project's going to take us.
Nice. Thanks, Ants Man. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, man. Just one more quick question, guys. I know there's probably a few others that want to talk. Do you guys have any staking options? And if not, do you guys plan on coming out with staking options?
There aren't staking options right now, but all I can say is that while we have plans to help each individual collection grow and evolve, there's also a higher level macro plan for Last Known as a whole and all Last Known NFTs. And things like staking and renting and different types of utility are certainly part of the roadmap.
All right, awesome. Well, I think that's about all the questions I have for you guys today. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for
Thanks,
coming
man.
up, man. Have a good one. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Yeah,
joining
you as
and
well,
being a
guys.
part of our
I'll catch you
community.
up,
We really
at the next AM.
Thank you.
Great.
Awesome.
So we have a few questions in the chat as well. What we could do is, I know, Laurence, you had shown us your video and your intro where you were showing the toys that inspired you. Is there anything else that, this is from Raj1, what inspires you with the Morphans design? Is there anything else other than the 80s and 90s toys that you've showed us?
No, it's pop culture in general, I guess. Yeah, but it's mainly toys, mainly cartoons, toys, 80s, 90s stuff. That's absolutely the core. But that's usually the core of everything we do as LouLou and Tummie as well. I always try, if I have a project, I'm always thinking, okay, how can I, get some robots in there, or maybe some bold colors, or yeah, everything evolves around toys at our studio, I guess.
Great, thank you.
Hey, Disruptive, could I jump in for a moment, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I just had to ask the artist what his favorite trait among all the ones that he made so far. Was there one that really spoke to him? I see such wonderful photos, and I can't imagine how you could pick a favorite, but I just was wondering, was there one that you just absolutely loved to have made, or that you thought of and you knew this was a special one to you?
Oh, that's difficult. Yeah, that's a really hard question. I absolutely have some favorites, but the favorites are usually the right combinations. Like there's some faces and eyes that I really like, and there's some horns or arms that I really like. And when those come together, I think those are the coolest. But yeah, there's all the gnarlies. I don't know if you've read into the rarities yet, but there's 15 super exclusive ones. Those are called the gnarlies, and they are based mostly on my childhood favorites. And those are all I'm really psyched about those.
That's amazing. I can only imagine how I believe I saw that you used to make all kinds of art before NFTs. So was it hard to transition into NFT space? Was it something that was very easy to do? Was it hard? Was it a whole different domain? Or is it once you are a creative and passionate artist, everything else is almost easy to create? Because I can't imagine making an NFT project. So congratulations.
Thank you. Well, it's nothing's easy. Let me begin with that, because every project we do, every drawing we do, it's always a creative struggle of how to go at things, what to choose, what colors, what to draw, and with the NFTs, what even normally we work most of the time we work on commercial projects. So a client wants something and we draw it for them, and then we have some creative freedom in that. But with the NFTs, we have all the freedom. There's no rules, there's no clients, there's nothing. You just start with nothing. And that was really hard. Okay, what are we going to do? And before, we really thought, okay, this is shaping up the way we wanted. It took a little while. Just we had some ideas, and again, I'm repeating myself, but I thought, okay, what do we want to do? I thought, okay, let's see what kind of toys I like, and let's see if I was in the 80s or 90s and I should make a toy brand, what would it look like? And I think that is what the Mutant-Bio Morphans are.
And just to jump in and not to speak for Lorenz, but I think another challenge of the NFT space, and this is still one that even at Last Known we're learning every day more about, is given the different creative directions that artists want to go with their collections, how can we bring those to life given some of the limitations of smart contracts and the immutability of smart contracts, and developing those contracts in a way that allow us to bring the artist's vision to life without having to spend a year developing just the contracts to enable that experience. And so there was a lot of design work that went into making it so the evolutionary process could be something that is kind of like a game, but is also something that we could bring to the market pretty quickly. And that was, I think, another challenge of the design process, specifically with this collection, because it is a gamified collection with different types of rarities as you move through the evolutionary process, and that's completely different than any drop that we've done before here at Last Known.
Yeah, absolutely. When G Spoons, you asked how did you get into NFTs, or was it easy or hard? We were thinking about doing something with NFTs, but we just didn't know how. Tech side was beyond us, so we weren't sure how to do it, but we had some ideas already what to do, small ideas, and then Last Known reached out okay, we want to help you realize it. And then we were like, okay, we definitely want to do it, but the only thing, we want to make sure that we do something unique. That was our goal, to explore what is possible with NFTs, because otherwise, to me, I was like, okay, I can also just make prints of it and sell those. But I wanted to be more than that, and so that's how we came up with the gamification, with the rarities that evolved and stuff.
I'll just ask one last question because I'm sure someone else wants to speak, but the most important, did you have fun when you were making NFTs? Was it an enjoyable experience? Because I really hope so.
Oh yeah, this is, and I've been saying it time and time again. This is the most fun thing we've ever worked on. We have so much freedom. We can do whatever. Well, not whatever, but we have total freedom as an artist. There's no restrictions hardly. Beside the technical side, of course, but this is the most fun we've ever done, and we've been working on it for many, many, many months. Still enjoy it. It's a load of work. It's insanely hard work. So I've never worked so hard and so long on one project, but it's also been the most enjoyable project. So.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to being a part of this with you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the questions, G-Spoons.
Yep. If I might scoop one out of chat here, and I think it's a good one, from Dim Sum asks, in terms of long-term vision for the collection, what does success look like for you? And that's sort of in terms of the roadmap. And there's some really awesome items on the roadmap. I mean, it's all cool, but when you get into an animated series or a cartoon and real-life toys, maybe you can tell us a little bit about those items on the roadmap and sort of what does success look like for you with this collection?
Yeah, thanks. Success is for me is that when I enjoy it and I make other people happy with what we've created. So that's the main goal. But of course, we want to sell out and make sure that we with the returns that we make with it, we can finally create a short animated cartoon. Something I've been wanting to do forever. Cartoons and toys was the whole thing that got me into illustration in the first place. And well, I'm not going to talk about toys anymore, but it's all something I really, really want to do. And but up until now, we've had many ideas, and we've pitched for Nickelodeon, and we've pitched for Netflix some cartoon ideas, or the TV show ideas that we have. But you're dependent on them. If they don't say, okay, let's go for it, or we like it, then you have to get time and money to invest into in that show, which we usually don't have. But if this sells out, and then we finally buy some time, and we have some money to invest into our own ideas. So that will be awesome. But the idea that we have now is like a really short cartoon, like I think it's under 10 minutes. We still have to really dive into it and start writing a good story, but I'm sure that it's going to be fun. But that will be the success for us. Finally create a short animated cartoon.
Awesome.
That's great. I see we also have a question, and I think this is more geared towards Dan, so more for the marketplace itself. How do we sell our arts here? So I guess he's interested in potentially bringing in. This is from Dark Jinx 13, bringing in some art.
So, as in like connecting with artists and working with them towards a collection.
My assumption is that he's talking about how would he sell his own art on Last Known. So for the moment, I mean, of course, this is a closed marketplace, but maybe you can give a little more insight on that.
Yeah, so right now, anybody who mints through Last Known will be able to sell their artwork on Last Known. We are working on a curation process for external collections so that they can also be made available on Last Known. We want to make Last Known a great place for artists to be able to do drops with the help of our team, and we also want it to be a great place for collectors to find all of the best NFTs on the web, whether or not they've been minted on Last Known. And so I would say reach out to our team, and we can start talking about some of the artwork you've created, and get it into the kind of curation process. And then once we get to the point where we've launched the marketplace functionality of Last Known, which is currently in development, we may be able to include your collections at that phase. So reach out to us either on Discord or Twitter, and we can get in touch on email and start discussing how that might work.
Understand? And Sprack Attack also asked, and this looks like it's also related to last known in general, are there any plans and incentives for holders of multiple tokens or holders of all last known drops? So I can answer partially this by saying that, well, right away you're already, if you have a last known token that's already been sold, either the Billion Buns or the Babylon Misfits, then you're automatically whitelisted for this next drop. And of course, there's more coming. So having multiple tokens and whatnot, we're definitely looking at different things. Maybe Dan can talk a little bit more on that.
Yeah, everything from how many last known tokens you hold to how long you've held those tokens will factor into some of the different incentives that you'll qualify for by having held those tokens for that amount of time and just by owning last known tokens. We'll have more information about that hopefully within the next month or so. We're working on getting to a point where we can share more details about that as soon as we can. But definitely those types of factors, like how many you have, if you have one from each collection, and how long you've held those tokens, will impact the different types of incentives that you'll qualify for. Someone who's the original minter of like a Billion Bun or a Babylon Misfit and who's held that since mint is going to earn more incentives than someone who's just bought it off of the market. But at the same time, you can buy one off the market, hold it for a long time, and then you'll be in that same class of rewards as some of the other people who've held their last known NFTs for a long time. But the plans that we have there are both to reward users who have held in value the art that these artists are producing, but also to create systems that provide incentives to users to participate in, and by them participating, that has an effect of increasing the floor price of the collection. And so we'll be able to talk in more detail about some of those very soon.
It's great. A lot of utility for OGs and longtime holders. So I think a lot of people will be happy once we start kicking off the marketplace. All of our community, which brings into a question of how can we increase the value through our community. This comes from Dominic. I can talk about, obviously value is very subjective. Is it what you're selling through OpenSea or whatnot? We see value in a different ways, and what's the utility, what's the what's the quality of the art. Of course, the markets can do what they do, and that's just life. But value through the community. I mean, the community itself is the biggest value. So the more we grow, the more eyes will be on it, and the more that you help it grow, the more you'll have incentive to for the value of your collection. So this really helps everyone basically. If you can spread the word, you'll be rewarded because we have point systems. We're building out different engagement techniques that will be able to drive a lot more people to chat and have fun while earning rewards and having various either a whitelist spot or a free NFT or many other different things, even potentially some cash prizes. So we're definitely looking at different avenues to bring that, to grow that community basically. And I think that's probably where you're going with it. But if you have any other questions, definitely let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I think that was a good answer. I'll just chime in with one little piece. In terms of growth, one thing somebody can do is invite one more person. That's just network effect. So if every person that's here, we've got thousands of people in our community. If everybody invited one more person or 1.5 more people, that really helps the growth. Whether that's sharing tweets or sending out a Discord invite to a friend that's getting into NFTs, letting them know about Last Known. That's sort of a key thing that really helps with the growth of the community, and also long-term value being driven through the community. So help get the word out about Last Known. Invite a friend or two into the community, and it goes a long ways.
Absolutely. Do we have any other questions here? Are there any, see, anyone else lifting up their hand? Remember, there's a free NFT that's going to be awarded to one random person who asks some questions, whether it be on stage or off stage in our AMA chat questions. So let us know.
You can ask anything. I don't mind any question.
A couple questions dropped into the AMA chat. Maybe relating a little bit more to Last Known than this particular drop, but if you want to scoop those up. Has there been any thoughts about doing pre-sales? I've been in some projects where we could pre-order and it greatly lowered minting fees. So maybe that's just looking at different strategies for pre-sale.
Yeah, that's interesting. We hadn't thought about that, but we'll definitely look into that. We're always trying to reduce gas fees for minters, so that's a big one for us.
Yeah, we try when we select a mint date, we always try to look at what's already being sold around then, so it's not causing a specific gas war, at least while we're still dropping on Ethereum, because as many know that the more activity there is, the more expensive it can get. So we look at that, but of course, sometimes if we're planning the drop a month in advance, things may change very quickly. So we still try to keep that in mind, but that doesn't always pan out, unfortunately.
Ant-Man has asked, do you guys plan to do collabs? Maybe that's something you can run by Laurence, and if he has any potential fellow artists out there, or any friends, family, or other brands he might consider collaborating with through Morphans in the future.
Yeah, thanks. Absolutely. It's one of the things I've been thinking about as soon as we started this, actually. I was like, it would be so cool to work together with some of the artists that I really admire. I follow and know a lot of people that make amazing stuff. And I love, it would be amazing to invite them to show me to show their take on our project and see what they come up with. But yeah, that's something for the future. It would be amazing to do a job that involves other people. Absolutely.
And I would say at a Last Known level, that's something that we're trying to encourage as well. Like, we even have in the Discord a place for all the different artists to collaborate if they want to talk about different types of projects they can work on together. And so, trying to support and facilitate those collaborations is something that we're definitely trying to work on. And then Last Known will be collaborating itself with different artists to produce different drops that we're also working on, that we'll be sharing more info on shortly as well.
Yeah, and in addition to that, we also have whitelist collabs with different teams. So we've had a couple so far where you can join our Discord, or you can join the other team's Discord and potentially win a whitelist on their spot, and they do the same with their community. So we're sort of sharing the community through these collabs.
Question from Dim Sum. In terms of smart contracts, are steps being taken to optimize gas fees using the contract while keeping integrity of the project deliverables itself? So I know there's some different options. There are pretty new options out in the market in terms of optimizing gas. Maybe that's a good question for Dan. Any thoughts on some of the other options for optimizing in the future?
Yeah, we've looked at a bunch. Like there are a bunch of these different flavors of the ER721 spec that can give you different types of
Yeah.
gas cost advantages. But they do also come with, unfortunately, all of them come with their own drawbacks too. Like, some of the ERC 721 variants, like 721A and B and stuff, like they may give you cheaper gas fees, but they also come with, but you can only have so many tokens, or you can't do certain operations with that specification, and those are operations that our drops need. And so we're trying to, like right now, we are definitely keeping an eye on the different kind of sub flavors of both ERC 721 and 1155 to identify um, uh, EIPs that work well for us to accomplish the goals of the drop while still providing users with low gas fees. When using like the top level, what I would call kind of like base specs that we use today, we're really careful to try to use the uh, smallest size variables and things like that in the contract, which all feed into both deployment cost and gas cost for users. And we've recently done a lot of off-chain Merkle tree-based operations, which further reduce costs for users and allow us to do things like whitelist mintings directly to the user's wallet address without it being exorbitantly high gas costs. So we're always trying to find better ways to improve that stuff, and we're always keeping an eye on the evolving sort of development community and landscape there. But unfortunately, some of those NFT specifications that really market themselves as gas fee saving, it's true they will save you gas fees, but they'll also handicap your project in one way or another as a trade-off for those gas fee savings, and so it becomes a real decision point around, do we want users to be able to evolve these NFTs? Oh, well, then we can't use that subspec of 721 that provides people lower gas fees. The trade-off is you get a much more engaging game and a much larger experience for it, but you have to pay a few more gwei to make things happen. So it's something that we're closely watching, but so far we haven't found a good variant spec of 721 or 1155 that accomplish everything we need while also providing users with those gas fee savings.
Well, thanks for that. A couple more questions in chat, but they're sort of going back again to, does your project envision any long-term incentives for NFT holders? So what makes this project different from other projects that mint NFTs?
Like the Mutant-Bio Morphans?
Sure, maybe we can talk a little bit about how Mutant-Bio Morphans are different.
Yeah, so as said, you have different stages of evolving your mutant, which totally plays with the rarities. Because let's say we have an X amount of common Morphans, and that are in stage 3. But as soon as you start evolving, they go to stage 4 or 5, which will make them rarer, or ultra rare even. But as soon as more than half of the commons are evolved into stage 4, then the other half of the commons that are still in stage 3 become rare, because they're becoming a minority. So it totally plays with, by evolving, it totally plays around with what is rare and what's not. I think that's the most interesting part of the whole gameplay that we've introduced.
Well, and if I could jump into, I think that some of the plans that Laurens and LouLou and Tummie have around different follow-on initiatives, like the the cartoon and potential like physical goods and stuff are also part of the vision for the long-term value of the collection. What I like about the vision Laurence has is that he has a plan to reinvest these funds in the continued growth of the collection. I think that's really the best way to grow long-term value for the collection and also for the artists themselves. You know, they continue to reinvest in the collection, which grows the collection's value, which allows them to further, do additional sort of drops and initiatives around the collection. Not all of our artists have that same outlook on what will be done with the proceeds of the drop. But I think that from the start that Laurence has a really good vision for that, and it'll really help to grow the long-term value of Morphans as cartoons and physical items start to become available that represent these Morphans that have been minted or have evolved throughout the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we also hope to make a toy. That's the plan. We're 100% sure we can make some toys, but hopefully we make a whole bunch of toys. But that's that's what we're looking into right now to see what we can do with over the couple next month. And also our story. I'm not sure who read it or who hasn't yet. Our story is we have a how do you say it? It's a story with more different angles. It's we can build a whole world around it. Way before we finished creating this first drop, we had loads of ideas for the second drop, for mini drops, and I'm really looking forward to start on the new drop because I think I like the idea even better than what we're doing now. So it's only getting better, I guess. Starting on projects like this always brings new ideas. If you work on a big project, you also get loads of new ideas that we can hopefully also do in the near future. So yeah.
Got a question in chat from Dim Sum. How is the size of the collection determined? So we have 1,200 total in the collection, right? How is that determined, and what was the thought process to come to this number? Like, how did you get to the 1,200?
Well, it's quite simple. 12 is my lucky number. Always been.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a question for Dan in here. What is the biggest challenge faced by the team so far? Maybe we can put that into perspective for the Biomorphans drop. And then the secondary question was, how big is the team? I guess somebody's just curious about the last known team. But maybe you can talk a little bit about the challenges faced by the Biomorphans drop.
Yeah, so Biomorphans, the biggest challenges were definitely related to the gamified evolution of the tokens and how we do that in conjunction with specific evolutionary paths that certain tokens should take. And so constructing a solution for that and making that solution compatible with the standards in the smart contract space was definitely the biggest challenge, and was more technically involved than any drop we've done before with Last Known. But I think it's a good thing. It's the direction that I feel like a lot of successful drops are going in building more gamification into the drops and utility into those tokens that come out of that gamification is something we're really focused on here at Last Known. And so I think that this is a great demonstration of the gamification of a token, and some of the stuff that will come out of this longer term will help to demonstrate the utility side. But definitely just mapping out the evolutionary process. Are evolutions free? How many of them are free? At what stage do people have to pay for them? And how does that feed into potentially more rare tokens that they can attain by evolving their Morphans. That was a lot of the challenge with the Morphans collection, because with what we did with Babylon Misfits and with Billion Buns, it's a more one-shot minting process where, you don't know what you're going to get, but you get what you get. With Morphans, it's the same thing where you don't know what you're going to get, but then after that, it could change up to 5 different times after that, right? And so that's a whole new dimension to the drop, especially like for the first 3 evolutions. How long will it take to evolve, and how users appreciate that it has evolved and stuff. But we've managed to figure all that stuff out, and we're looking forward to like activating the game. And so those are definitely the biggest challenges on the Morphin side. On the Last Known, how many people do we have working on its side? We have probably, I would say, close to somewhere between 15 and 20 people working on Last Known, pretty much full time. A lot of them are working on feature development and the marketplace side of things, which is being created right now. Also have a lot of people working on smart contract stuff that will play into the long-term, more sort of big picture vision for Last Known. And of course, they also help with each of the individual drop smart contracts as we go through and get to a point where we're ready to construct the contract for a drop. And we expect the team to grow as more of these drops grow, and especially as the Last Known based drops start to come out, and we start to add more utility to all of these Last Known NFTs that have been minted so far. We're going to be bringing on more team members to help both the value of the NFTs in the community grow, and also to grow our ability to add more features and drops, and work with more artists at the same time.
Awesome. We're coming up on the hour. Maybe I can sneak in one more question for Laurence here. This is again from Dim Sum. Great question. Curious to know how long it took to bring this project to fruition from initial ideation. So I know that you've been working on this for a little while. Maybe you can just share exactly how long you've been working on the Morphans up until this point.
Yeah, we started in September. That's when we started the first. We had the first meeting, and then from then on, we're still working on it. Everything.
Awesome.
There's constant. Yeah.
About 6 months in the making so far.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely hundreds of hours too from Laurence in terms of.
Yeah, and usually I work from 9 to 5, or actually from 10 to 6. But I've been working weekends, evenings, nights. I'm constantly working on it, and when I'm not working on it, I have to do keep up to date with Twitter and Instagram. I have to create stuff for that as well. The whole project is just it's my life at the moment.
Yeah, and there's a lot of back and forth with the team in there too. Like Lorenz will create awesome assets that we try to run through the process for, combination and evolution, and we'll learn things like, these body parts don't fit this body shape the right way, or these eyes might look strange on this face, and he's been awesome about providing feedback on that stuff. Either that's what he was going for, or that's a mistake, let me correct it, I'll get you some new assets. And so throughout the months that have passed since September 2021, we've been going back and forth almost daily in respect to, making sure the assets are just right, and the evolutions at each stage are exactly what the artist is looking to achieve in terms of results. And, that's a really involved process.
Yeah, absolutely. And we first wanted to drop it early February, I believe. That was our first idea.
Yeah.
But the project got so big, and we had so many ideas that just didn't work. We needed more time for the technical side, and on the other hand, we needed more time to draw stuff, and we needed time for a little bit of marketing. So happy that it finally is happening next month. Is it next month? Yeah.
So before I do my closing statement, is there anything else that you would like to add, LouLou?
No, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Well, again, it's one of the biggest and most fun project we've ever worked on. We're really, really proud of what we created, and it's also been we never worked so hard. We work hard every now and then, but this was absolutely the biggest effort ever. So really, really happy that people like it and all the good response we get. So yeah, thanks so much for that.
Dan, is there anything that you wanted to add?
Nope, just want to say thanks for everybody who took the time to join us this morning or evening, depending on where you are, and listen in on the meet and greet here. We'll definitely do a few more AMAs before the official drop, and I hope everybody has a great day. Or night, depending where you are.
So just on my end, now for everyone who joined us late, I wanted to remind everyone that the last known market, we're bullish on utility NFTs, and therefore we'd like to officially announce that owning any last known NFTs currently deployed by the last known market automatically lands you a spot on the Mutant-Bio Morphans whitelist. Own a billion buns from Chairman Ting's last drop, or own an NFT from Skuja's recently revealed Babylon Misfits collection, you automatically get a spot on the upcoming whitelist. And not only that, but we're also kicking off our Friends and Fam event. So if you participate in any of our whitelist giveaways and you already own a last known NFT, then, like I said, you'll be able to open a ticket with us and in our Discord and assign the whitelist spot that you won for any friend or family member or anyone else that you like. So the whitelist spot will allow users to buy an NFT before the public sale, and there's been quite a lot of interest. So we're hoping that you can all join us on the or at least most of you can join us on the private sale, and if not, then hopefully we'll have some left on the private sale. And if you win twice or multiple times, even if you don't own, if you win a whitelist spot twice or multiple times, even if you don't own an NFT, you'll be able to share your additional whitelist spot with a friend as well. So as a bonus, in addition to one lucky winner of a Morphin NFT being present here, everyone who's joined this chat also wins a whitelist spot. So thank you for being our great audience. And so if you've joined us, open a ticket with us in our Discord in the support channel. So it's a hashtag support-channel. Hashtag support-ticket. And that's the channel. And provide us with your Ethereum address or a friend's address if you're a holder or already won a spot, and we'll add you to the list. So the just a little bit more details about the drop. So adopt the Mutant-Bio Morphin on April 12th for the private sale. And the drop is a limited NFT collection of only 1,200 NFTs. Each NFT is priced low at only 0.065 Ethereum per Morphin. The whitelist presale begins on April 12th at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. UTC. And the public sale begins the following day on April 12th at 12 p.m. Eastern, same thing, 4 p.m. UTC. And we thank you so much for joining us on the LouLou and Tummie's meet and greet. We really appreciate how our incredible community has been supporting us from the start, and we really look forward to the next reveal. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Or night.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.